Hello everyone, Dolphin Oracle here again this morning. Back again with MX17. This is the What's New video to show you what's new, what's up, what new MX apps are here, what you can expect from this release. Let's just take a quick peek at the release announcement. You can also look at, this is at mxlinux.org/blog, or you can go over to the current release, mxlinux.org/current-release-features. We'll give you everything you need to know about what is actually included on the release, but I'll point you out a couple of highlights from the release announcement. Number one, we're using 4.13 kernels, 32-bit and 64-bit. And for those of you who have been following the Ubuntu news with the whole Brick and Lenovo systems and a few others, I'm told that our kernels do not have those Intel-SPI drivers enabled, so rest easy on that score. Still XFCE 4.12.3. Individual packages have been updated here and there as well. We also have all the new Antics Live USB features, some of which aren't even in the new Annex, in the Annex 17 release. Some of these got added after the fact, and we even got to incorporate those changes. Things that are still brewing over on the Annex side, we're kind of pulling into MX here. So we're allowing persistence files up to 20 gigabytes if you use our tool, if your file system supports it. If you're using a drive formatted with FAT32 or VFAT, you're stuck at 4 gigs. Sorry, that's just how it goes. That's a limitation of the FAT file system. Again, still selecting the driver for Broadcom chips. We haven't seen any reports this go around of this picking up the wrong chip, so hopefully that's working a little bit better this go around. Again, the updated browser, Firefox Quantum. We got an updated VLC. Actually, some of these have received updates since we released, so I know they're working on the new Thunderbird right now. What do we have that's new? New and updated MX apps. The MX Tools dashboard is a little bit easier to read. We've made all the icons a little bit larger. You'll see there's a couple of new utilities in here, and I'll go over those here in just a second. MX Tweak provides one-stop spot for the compositor, panel orientation, other tweaky kind of things. We'll go over that tool in just a few minutes. MX Conky is a way to do simple edits on these Conky files that are up here. MX Network Assistant is actually a replacement or an enhancement to MX Broadcom Manager. That's gone. MX Network Assistant's here, so that it's kind of a general networking troubleshooting tool. iDevice Mounter. MX iDevice Mounter lets you mount these guys. This is an iPhone, in case you've never seen one. You know, only one of the most popular smartphones on the planet. I'm not going to say it's going to let you mount every iPhone and every iDevice, but we're having pretty good success up through iPhone 8, I believe. This is a 6, actually a 6 SE, and I have mounted this successfully, so we'll show you how that works. I've got confirmed reports up through 8. MX Updater, formerly is App Notifier. It has new themes available, and I'll show you that real quick, because this is it, the little green box. If we go to Preferences, you get a choice. Let me drag this over here. You get a choice of different icon themes. You get a pulse theme, you get the classic box and arrow theme, and you get the wireframe boxes. I'm going to leave mine alone because I don't want to mess with anything while I'm running the video, because it does restart some things when you do that, so I'm going to leave it be for now. You can see right now my box is green because I do have a couple updates. Annex Snapshots. Yes, we've updated the Snapshot Tool a little bit. It's more or less the same as it was before, just a couple things tweaked here and there. And also we have a new quick system info for quick and easy. If you've ever been in our forums, you'll notice we ask for INXI-F a lot, and that gives us a quick peek at what your system has. And this has most of the most general stuff. So we put it in the menu this time. Let me close this so we can see it here. And I'm actually running a test version right here, so ignore this report copied to clipboard. That's not going to happen on the base install right now. That's coming soon in a change. But anyway, it gives you all the information you need about your system, what drivers, what's hooked up. You see I just picked up my microphone and my webcam and all that fun stuff. It knows I'm running UEFI. So it picks up a lot of information that we need that we can help you diagnose if you have an issue. So at any rate, that is the quick info tool. And of course, we still have MX Package Installer with updated packages appropriate for a Debian stretch-based release, as well as a few new odds and ends here and there. There's a theme category, there's an icon category, and we're adding stuff all the time through updates. And we've improved the localization. The Thunar custom actions, that are these guys here. When you do a right-click, it's these guys here: open terminal, open root Thunar, ownership to root, ownership to user, these kinds of things. There's different ones depending on what kind of file you select. Those things have now been translated. We got them translated, I think, into 9 languages right now. The live system will automatically set up which one you need, depending on what locale you pick from the live boot menus. I'll be doing a live boot menu video, persistence, and all that stuff here later on down the road. But anyway, there's always been a big complaint. Those are our custom actions were always in English, and now they're translated. So kudos to the old Giza and the translation team for making that happen. And also some miscellaneous items. We've got the CLI Aptix command line console package manager from Annex. It's pre-installed. I've done a video on that. You can check it out. Neo Fetch for your showing off purposes. Neo Fetch will give you all the little doodads here in your video about what your themes are, and you get a little dumb ASCII logo of Antix or of MX over here. Okay, we've got one-click enabling of event login and logout sounds with system sounds. Let's just take a look at that real quick because it's quickie. And you can see you can check the XFCE event sounds and input sounds. Now XFCE supports that, sort of, kind of, but anyway, it supports that. But session sounds, as in the login and logout sounds, XFCE doesn't support those. So we've added those here for you. You can click on those, and you've got 3 themes here. Although I'm going to be honest, free desktop is a little bit low on the volume. The video files are recorded very, very soft. So you might need to tweak up your system sounds when you use that one. But Borealis and Fresh and Clean sound rather nice. So it's there if you want it. Not everybody likes system sounds, so it's not enabled by default, but it's there if you want to turn them on. Some people like them. Alright, so we will come back to the thank yous later. Let's go back and check out the new MX apps. Now, the first one we're going to check out is iDevice Mounter. iDevice Mounter is for this thing. Now, I've not plugged this phone in yet, and we'll plug it in right now. Now, the first time you plug in your iPhone, your iPhone itself, I've learned, is going to ask for you to trust the computer. I've already set this phone up, but it'll ask the question on the screen. Our device won't do anything until you tell the phone that it can trust the computer. So once you've done that, you can hit rescan, and you can see it's found my iPhone. It's given it this great big UUID. That's a Universal Device Identifier. And I can choose the mount button, at which time it opens Thunar. And you can see I've got these iPhone and documents on iPhone. Ignore these. These are parts of the VFS system, and they don't work quite right. But the mounter, you'll notice, puts it in run user, your user ID, and then your device ID. So it does mount the phone. It just mounts it. These links won't be quite right. Hey, it's Apple. We're working on it. But this uses a different set of libraries, and it uses. I'm pretty sure it's safe to use. We have had no reports of people corrupting their data like you do with those old iFuse systems. Okay, those old iFuse systems where you could expose the entire file structure. This entire file structure is not exposed. And you can see DCIM is where photos are normally stored. And yes, indeed, I have a photo. And yes, that is stored on the iPhone. So that is there. When you're done, you can hit the unmount button, and it will unmount your phone. Oops, I closed the thing. So you can see I'm not mounting more, even though those links still show up over here. That's the GFFS and UADev picking the device up. That's not our tool doing that. I'm pretty sure if I click that, nothing will happen. Yeah, see, Gphoto doesn't even work anymore. It used to be Gphoto would pick this stuff up, but it doesn't pick it up anymore. That's Apple changing the file system. So that is iDevice Mounter. It does one thing, and it does it pretty well, as long as you understand that those links in Thunar on the sidebar aren't our tool. Those are things from upstream. This tool will get you mounted and get you where you need to go. Okay, so that is iDevice Mounter. Quick system info I already showed you. See, Repo Manager, Package Installer. We'll go Package Installer real quick. And I'll show you a couple of new items in Package Installer. The package installer has already received quite a few updates. There was a little kind of hiccups there when we first released because our turned out our repo in the Netherlands went down. Just got hammered for whatever reason. We really don't know why, but I think it's been fixed now, so we should be okay. But you can see we have an icon area for adding things, and I believe there's a theme area. Yes. And I believe if we go to messaging that Skype is back. Yes, this is the new Skype for Linux 64-bit for those of you that are Skype users. Sorry, 32-bit users, complain to Microsoft. It's not our doing. So all those tools are here for you. We've added a few other odds and ends. Kdenlive's in video player. I think that might have been there before. I'm not sure. There have been some other changes. Some apps dropped out because they're not supported anymore. Penta's gone because Penta crashes constantly. This seems very, very machine dependent. I didn't have too much trouble with it, but most of our other developers and graphics guys said no, it crashes constantly. And if you search the interwebs, you'll find that is in fact an ongoing problem. We've got kernels here. We've got the Andix kernel that shipped with Andix 17. We've got the Debian 64-bit kernel that ships with Debian Stretch by default. And we've got our latest and greatest Liquorix kernels. I think this is up to 14, maybe 4.14. And more kernels are available in Synaptic if you want to search there. It's fine. Graphics, let's see. We've added Gthumb, and Mirage is here because we have a new graphics viewer. And if you were sharp-eyed when I opened up the iPhone viewer, you'll see that Nomax is our new graphics player. Steam is here. Now, I've installed it already, so you see it's grayed out. But it is here. FileZilla, let's see. I think that's the bulk of the new stuff here. Oh, Genie is here in development as a super text editor. Tabbed code markups. Featherpad, which is our default text editor, this go around MX17 also has tabs and markups, but a lot of people prefer Genie if they're actually doing coding work. So, you know, they're both there for you to use. And of course, your classic options there under Audio and Browser. Clicking on the full app catalog gets you the tools from Debian, from our test repo, and from Debian Backport's repo without going through the fuss of enabling those things and disabling them when you're done. The app takes care of that for you. All right, so that's the MX Package Installer. That's pretty nice. Let's see. Let's play with Conky. MX Conky is a cute little editor. Now, one of the things I like is that you can change the day and the months to long and short formats. That's cool. But what I like is changing the colors. So I'm going to change color here. And there it goes. You see my 29 is now lime green. I'll leave that be. I kind of like that. So anyway, there's all kinds of stuff in here, and if you want to open up a new, change to the many Conkys included, you can open up Conky Manager and do that. Okay, so do I want to preserve the original file? No, I don't care. But it will back it up for you if you want to. So that's very nice to know. Tweak is a new tool. This is kind of a grown-up version of MX Default Lux, and the first panel is for all you guys that want your panel somewhere else. We can do that. So I'm gonna put the panel on the bottom, and I'm gonna hit the button, and it's gonna rearrange all this crap and have it the way you want it without having to do it all manually. Bam! There you go. Clock, tools, window button stuff, launchers, task list, menu. And a lot of you like it that way. That's cool. That's why we got this. Okay, we've also got options for restoring the default panel, which is this panel, and for backing it up, which you didn't see it, but when you open it up the first time, it automatically backs it up. So the backup panel is already there. Under theme, we have these theme sets. Now these are things that are kind of fun. So the light theme is the default set for MX17. There's a dark one. Okay. Oh, I have Firefox running, so it's telling me that I may need to restart Firefox. We've got this one that you have a preview button, so you can see what they are. And you see this one gives you kind of a. This actually has a background image behind the picture. The theme set has a chooser has a lot of interesting tricks, and there's a Numex one that's kind of all bright orange and stuff. So I'm going to go back to the light one, but that is how you set the, and see, it's there, the default's there too. So that is how you go back with that. And changes you make, you can actually hit with the undo button if you like to go backwards. here. Compositor, I have the XFCE Compositor enabled right now, but this is a place where Compton is installed, and you can choose that. And if you choose that, then these Compton settings buttons come along, and you can actually tweak some settings right there, or edit your Compton.conf file directly right there. And all the auto start stuff is already taken care of for you. So this is a good place for if you're a Compton user, you can do that here. If you're an XFCE Compositor user, you can do that here. The default is none. And you can use all the other basic tools if you want to, but this is going to be a nice, easy, quick stop for you to get that done as you go. On other, there's some things here that I call the annoyance stuff, the stuff that annoys some people. So on other, we've got, by default, you'll know that MX17 uses a single click on the desktop and a Thunar. Well, you can come in here and you can uncheck these two boxes. Done. Single click's gone for your user. Usually you have to go into the Thunar settings and find that, and then you got to go into the desktop settings and find it for the desktop. This is a one-stop shop. You hit that, you're done. Don't like the frame around the sys tray? Turn it off. No problem. Want all your windows from the workplaces in the panel, or you don't want all your windows from all your workspaces in the panel? Uncheck it. No problem. Do you want to be able to mount your internal drives without being a root user? Check this box. This is nice if you access a Windows partition on occasion. Disabling shortening of long file names on the desktop. If you're an icon guy on the desktop and you got file names that are that long, you'll know sometimes it takes them down to an ellipse. And if you take it down to an ellipse, sometimes it's hard to read unless you select them. Well, you can check this, and it will they'll go longer. It doesn't quite get rid of them all the way. If they're extremely long or your text is extremely large, they still ellipse. But for the most part, this will allow long file names on the desktop. At this one, rather. And then there's also enabling Hibernate on the logout menu. I'm not going to check this right now because it does some things. I'm always antsy when I'm using my recording. But this will try to set up Hibernate on your system so that it'll show up on the logout bar. You can hit the button. It'll try to hibernate to your swap partition. That's all it does. Also, if your swap partition if you don't have a swap partition, this option shouldn't show up. So if you're running without swap and you say, "Where's my hibernate option?" Well, it shouldn't be there. If it is there, it's a bug. Let me know and I'll fix it. But it shouldn't be there. It's just a note that by rule, to hibernate, your swap should be greater than or equal to your RAM. Now, there is some compression being used, so that's not strictly speaking true. But your running RAM, whatever you're running in when you hibernate, needs to be smaller than your swap, or you could run into trouble. Okay, so that's Tweak Tool. Tweak Tool is just a one-stop place for all kinds of little annoyance tweaks. Welcome has also been updated. It's got a new icon theme, and it's got popular apps and tweak added to here, as well as the manual. And also, the manual's been translated into a couple languages. So if you're French, I want to say Spanish as well. Now, you might get the MX16 manual instead of the 17 manual. All that kind of thing is still ongoing, but you're going to get a manual, and it's going to be translated. I think it's only in 3 languages right now, and more is coming soon. Someone told me I think German is coming, maybe Russian. That's coming. The translators are hard at work. We appreciate you guys. Okay, so that is the meat and potatoes of the MX tools, the new stuff. There's been tweaks and fixes all over the place, so kudos to all the guys who've been working on that. What else do we have in the menus? Well, we got an MX Tools menu for one that pulls a lot of the MX tools into one place. This is so a lot of the MX tools are here. A couple of them still end up in other places in settings, for instance, if they are been defined to be in more than one location. A lot of them have been. But it has been sorted down. But you get all the, you get a lot to, oh, we got Conky Toggle. So we hit the Conky Toggle, it turns Conky off. Toggle, turn Conky back on. Toggle. Okay, that's easy. We got a new clipboard manager. We got enhanced Bluetooth support. I don't know. Those are the new apps. Those are the new MX apps, and that is the meat and potatoes of the MX experience. We do have new wallpapers, but if you've watched any reviews online, you've seen all these already. I happen to like this one, so I'm gonna turn that on. All this is here. The whole MX idea is to take something complicated like Debian, and to an extent Annex, but not so much. Take something like that, distill it down to a user experience that works for 99% of you out of the box without too much hassle. It's easy for you to change, and with the snapshot and persistence tools and the remaster and all that stuff that I'll do separate videos on, gives you the ability to store that stuff. Like right now, my desktop, I have all sorts of apps installed. I have Chrome, I've got Qt, I've got Genie, I've got Steam, I've got Mirage for graphics. I've added all sorts of things on here, Kdenlive, Handbrake. I've added all sorts of things on here, but you know what? I did it on the live USB with persistence. Installed all that stuff on the live USB. Now the live USB's got everything I ever want on it. If I wipe this system out, I just take the USB out, plop it in, bam. It all is installed automatically because it's all stored on that live USB with persistence. It all goes back to the installed system. This is the beauty of the Annex Live USB system, which we are heartily taking advantage of in the MX project. Well, that's it. Go enjoy MX. For tips, tricks, how-tos, head over to mxlinux.org or throw up a post at forum.mxlinux.org. This is Dolphin Oracle signing off. Have a great day.